Hey everyone, welcome to Adventure Barks. So with the official merger now of Six Flags and Cedar Fair happening today, July 1st, if I was able to get this video out when I wanted to, we decided to make a video giving you our breakdown and predictions of possible changes that you may be seeing at these parks, and which parks will benefit and which parks will not as well. All right, so let's dive in.
Our first thought when we heard this merger was coming was what will happen to the season passes. As enthusiasts, we have a Six Flags pass and we have passes to the Cedar Fair parks. So, is this going to become more expensive? Is this going to become more affordable? What changes will come?
And we have an answer. So today they announced that they're going to be releasing their new Legendary Pass, which comes in 3 tiers: Squire, Knight, and Dragon Lord. With the with the Dragon Lord Pass, you're going to get preferred parking, VIP lounge access at all the parks, and a romantic date with the Looney Tune of your choice.
Wow, that sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Too good to be true.
Well, it's not, unfortunately.
If only.
But really, don't expect to see a new all park pass for a long time. I'm thinking maybe like 2026. In the corporate world, things move very, very slow, and I think the rest of 2024 is just reserved for all the executives, top level executives, to just pat each other on the back, like, yeah, good job, and we'll start doing stuff in 2025.
Yeah. A corporate merger is a corporate merger, and a lot of the changes are probably just at the top. The average person may not even really know that this is occurring.
Exactly, yeah. Like people who go to like Kings Island as their home park, like they might not even know that it's under Six Flags now for like a decade.
It may not affect them.
So the current cheapest way to get into all the Cedar Fair parks is with a gold pass and the all park passport, which comes in around $250. And for Six Flags, the diamond pass is about $200, which will get you into all the theme parks. So combined, that would be $450. And us as enthusiasts would pay that price because we go to dozens of these amusement parks every single year.
If we were paying general admission, it would skyrocket beyond that.
Yeah, exactly. But for your average park goer and like the general public, that's quite a steep price. So I don't think it'll be that expensive when it comes out. And I'm thinking maybe like 2026 is probably when we're going to see this happen. I think it might be closer to like the $350 range. And I think maybe that would get some more sales for them for sure.
Something easier for the regular person to stomach. I mean, if you've got to visit 6 different parks to make it worthwhile, that's going to turn people off.
Exactly, yeah. So, and the average person doesn't go to 6 amusement parks every year.
We've gone to more so far, so.
Yeah, they have their home park or their 2 home parks or whatever, and they go to those like once or twice a summer, basically. I remember when I was a kid, we lived 1 hour away from Six Flags Great Adventure. We went there twice a year. And that was my amusement parks for the year.
That was that. So a possible option we considered the parks doing is a 2-park ticket for parks that are close in proximity to each other, who may even have been competitors at one point. We've experienced something similar on our trip to Florida this year. You bought a 1-price ticket for admission into Busch Gardens and into SeaWorld, and I think you kind of had unlimited time within reason to use it.
I believe it was like within like a week or 2.
Okay, so I mean within the same vacation you're on.
Yeah, but it's like a 2-park ticket for not that much more than a single-day park ticket for like SeaWorld. So yeah, it was a great deal. We used it back in March. Those were some of our first vlogs from amusement parks. So if you haven't seen those vlogs, there's a link to that playlist in the description below. Seems like it was just yesterday.
It does. We were just kids.
Just young and starting out on our YouTube journey. Yeah. That time flies.
But this 2-park ticket system, it could work really well, especially for the average person. We tried to put ourselves into, that lens of perspective that a lot of these decisions the parks are making will be for the general public. So you can't be scaring away those people. Some options we considered, the 2-park ticket system could work at are, again, close proximity to each other. You've got Dorney Park and Great Adventure, Magic Mountain and Knott's Berry Farms. You've got King's Dominion and Six Flags America. So just anything that's maybe within a few-hour ride, someone might live in the middle of it.
Exactly,
so yeah, parks that people would be visiting anyways.
Yeah, and I don't think, again, you'll be seeing any of this in 2024. Maybe 2025 for this. This might happen a little bit sooner than the all-park pass.
And if it is up to individual parks to kind of figure this out on their own, we'll see it staggered, I suppose.
So the new company is going to retain the Six Flags name because it's recognized much, much better than Cedar Fair. Like, your average person doesn't know what Cedar Fair is. They've never heard of it.
And yeah, you gotta focus on brand marketing.
Yeah, exactly. But with that being said, like 90% of the leadership is coming from Cedar Fair. It's just a general consensus that the Cedar Fair parks are run much better than the Six Flags parks. The term go have yourself a Six Flags day, it doesn't exist for no reason. You say that to somebody you hate. So hopefully under the Cedar Fair leadership, all these Six Flags parks will become like better managed and operated throughout.
So we don't believe there are going to be major name changes to these parks, especially when you're speaking of brand recognition. You don't want a smaller park in a local area to become unrecognizable to the people that live there. We could maybe see them adding the Six Flags name to some of the smaller parks that may need some more help with brand recognition. Maybe something like Worlds of Fun, a Six Flags park. It wouldn't precede the name, but it would just tack itself on at the end.
Right, yeah, and you're going to start seeing like the Six Flags logo appear inside of these parks and stuff like that, like merchandise-wise and all that. But like overall, yeah, these names aren't going to change. There's not going to be a Canada Six Flags Wonderland or anything. Although that sounds pretty sweet.
That's so cool. I'm intrigued.
The Six Flags Dorney, yeah, no, not going to happen. So as far as like intellectual property and like the characters in these parks, I don't think you're going to be seeing too much mixture. Like Cedar Fair is going to keep their Planet Snoopy's and their Peanuts characters, while the Six Flags are probably going to keep their DC and Looney Tunes. I think that's going to be the case for the most part, but there like some parks that have like two kids lands, like Canada's Wonderland comes to mind for me. They have their Planet Snoopy already, and then they have a Kidsville. And I'm thinking maybe with this Kidsville, they can try to incorporate like maybe like a DC land or like a Looney Tunes land or something, just to give it more of a, recognizability.
Exactly, yep.
Mm-hmm. What I do think you'll start seeing, though, is like the merchandise in the stores. Yeah, you'll start seeing like DC stuff in like Cedar Fair parks. Again, not immediately, but over the next few years, I think they'll start to like pop up and stuff like that.
I think that's one of the easiest things to change, honestly,
Exactly,
is just shipping out merch for money. Definitely, you'll see crossovers for that. We see anime merchandise in every amusement park we go to. There's no anime land. I would love that. That would be sweet. Yeah, these parks just want to make money, and that's what it'll come down to for merch.
That would be sick if they could get some like anime licenses, like there was like a Dragon Ball Z land or like Naruto land in these parks.
That's what we need over here.
I'm all for it, yeah.
So another change we think we'll see is new apps for these parks, obviously. Six Flags has a master app. One app, you get to access all the parks, which is really convenient.
It's awesome.
For someone who travels to a lot of these parks, I can't stand having to download a new app every time I go to a new Cedar Fair park.
Yeah,
I love
a
them,
Carowinds app and a Cedar Point app and a Dorney Park
my
app.
phone's going to explode.
Too many apps.
I can't do another app. I don't have it in me.
You can scan the code.
Why?
Because the code takes you to the app.
That's 2 apps today. Yeah. Got apps for everything, Even though I'm already talking to the person that could just take my order right here, but I got to download an app.
So what we would really like to see is a master app that truly has every single park on here, just navigationable from one app on your phone. That would be ideal. Again, I know that they think about the average consumer, so they're not thinking like people are visiting 20 parks in one year like we try to do. So this probably doesn't come up a lot. They probably don't even get a lot of complaints about it, but it would be very helpful to us.
Exactly, yeah.
Another thing that they would have to change is, either the Flash Pass or the Fast Lane. Since Cedar Fair will be mostly in charge of stuff like that, we think it'll be the Fast Lane. And it seems to be a better system anyways. So
yeah,
if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Get a wristband. Mm-hmm. You walk to the ride you want to go on. You go into the Fast Lane.
You scan.
Right, you scan. It's pretty simple. All right, so now that we've discussed the possible changes coming overall to all of these parks, let's discuss the individual parks themselves and which ones here are going to be the winners and the losers. Let's start with the winner. Yay!
Hey. Woo! You did it, guys. Probably.
All right, so the winners are comprised of the parks that were already the top parks in each one of these chains. But there's like one standout one that you probably wouldn't expect, and let's start with that. Dorney Park. I've heard from a lot of people that this one's going to be like on the chopping block. They're going to sell or close it. I couldn't disagree more with that. They just got a brand new roller coaster in Iron Madness. They're getting a water park investment for next year, and they need to compete with Hershey Park. Six Flags is not letting this park go. I'm sorry. They're gonna boost this up like crazy.
In our recent visit, we saw improvements all over the place. So they're putting money into the park. That doesn't sound like a park that's going to fall to the wayside to me.
Exactly, and like we were discussing earlier with the 2-park ticket system, this and Great Adventure, 2-park, one single price ticket, like that's going to do very well, I think, in the Northeast.
Great Adventure can help Dorney Park in this situation, I would say.
Exactly. While we're on the topic, our next winner is Six Flags Great Adventure. They are trying to make this into like a resort destination in the Northeast, and that's fantastic for us.
Oh, absolutely. Yes,
Selfishly, that's
here.
great for us. Yeah, they already have the safari. They just opened up like the glamping yurts in the safari.
They're gorgeous.
So, yeah, super expensive. We can't afford them, but
maybe someday.
It's like man, just waking up, walking outside, eating breakfast with a giraffe, like. It's awesome, yeah.
And then walk into an amusement park right after. That sounds like the perfect day.
Yeah, I'm hearing rumors of an actual hotel being built there as well. Yeah, so this park is gonna get a lot of investment, I believe.
And location. So it's just
location. And the season gets longer and longer every year. Like this year, they opened like the second week of March.
Yeah, it was mid-March.
And it runs through to New Year's. Then, like with climate change, you don't know. Pretty soon, this could be a 365-day park.
Right.
I don't know.
Another winner in this merger is Magic Mountain, Six Flags top attendance park. They've got big plans to compete with Disney, especially due to their proximity. So they have to keep investing in this park. And, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If everyone's going there anyways, why would you sell a park that's functioning so well?
Yeah, what they need to do with Magic Mountain is focus on keeping all of these amazing roller coasters open.
Yes.
Because that's their biggest problem. Like I hear, like you'll go to Six Flags Magic Mountain, half the rides will be closed that day. They need to work on like staffing, operations, keeping all of these rides open, and that's going to be the start. Before you start adding anything new and crazy, let's focus on that first.
Fix what you have.
Mm-hmm. And staying in the California area, we have Knott's Berry Farm, which is Cedar Fair's highest attended park. Southern California seems to be a good place for theme parks. Yeah.
When you're both open 365, you definitely have opportunities that a lot of these other parks don't have.
Yeah, and whereas Magic Mountain, I think they're gonna focus on coasters. With Knott's Berry Farm, I think, because it's like, I think I would consider it the only theme park in the entire chain.
Yeah.
All the rest are amusement parks. Like Knott's Berry Farm is a theme park. They have like theme lands. The Ghost Town section is awesome. What I think they should do here is focus heavily on like highly themed like dark rides to really compete with Disney.
Yep, make it a more affordable option for people over Disney.
Yep, offer that 2-park ticket and boom, like we're in business now. Like
that's a win-win for them.
Disney's in trouble. They should hire me.
They should. You got a lot of really good ideas.
Here I am just giving away free advice. And
Next on the winner list, Kings Island. This is a park that they've recently just put a lot of money into. Brand new Snoopy area. They're investing heavily. And being right next to Kentucky Kingdom, you know, you've got to stay competitive. That park is owned by Hershend. They take famous care of their parks, I would say.
Yeah, they own Dollywood and Silver Dollar City, and they don't mess around.
They do not.
So Kentucky Kingdom is going to be an amazing theme park
Yep.
in the next few years. So they're going to have to keep up pace with that for sure.
Yep. And I think if you play your cards right, competition next door is a good thing. So.
Absolutely. Up next, we're heading up north to Canada. Canada's Wonderland. Amazing attendance for a park that's in a climate like where it is, where it's so cold. And honestly, Canadians deserve better. So I think there are so many coasters here, but most of them are just complete garbage. There's rumors of a new coaster coming in 2025, and I think that's a good start. And then I think they need to start removing a lot of these garbage coasters and replacing them with better ones.
Like selling them off, you're creating revenue anyways. I think that's a good way to fix this park without getting rid of it. Up next, we've got Carowinds. This is right next to the headquarters for the Cedar Fair Park, so you cannot have this falling to the wayside. Can't have it looking shabby. Maybe.
Can't have a shabby looking park next to where the bosses are, yeah. So, Six Flags, they're no longer based in Texas, and Cedar Fair in Sandusky, Ohio. Nope, they're moving to Charlotte, North Carolina. So, yeah, this park is going to get big investments.
I think on our wish list, it would be please RMC the Hurler if you have revenue to do so.
Please, what is going on with RMC right now? Anyway, like they're not putting out any roller coasters.
That has been weird. So here, well, another good idea. RMC Hurler, please.
Please, RMC.
That thing needs some help.
They did it at King's Dominion, and that turned out wonderfully.
Can be done.
Yeah. Speaking of King's Dominion, it's also a big winner here on this list. They have a new confirmed B&M wing coaster coming next year. Hopefully with some modified vest restraints.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys know how we feel about that already, right? If you haven't seen our rant about the B&M Fest, you can check that video out in the description below as well.
Our rant video, yeah.
But yeah, King's Dominion, they got the new Jungle Expedition land. They're retheming Project 305 now. Hopefully you get to a much cooler name. It's one of my favorite roller coasters ever. It's awesome.
A park with a great 1-2 punch. It's
yeah, that and Twisted Timbers.
so much fun.
It's maybe the best 1-2 punch anywhere.
Very possible.
Love it. And they got to compete with Busch Gardens Williamsburg, which is an amazing park.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Exactly. Up next, we've got Fiesta Texas. This seems to be one of the best run Six Flags parks from a management perspective. They're always taking care of it. It seems like everybody has a fantastic time when they go. It is right next to SeaWorld as well, so another reason you've got to stay competitive and you've got to keep adding.
And it seems to have the best roller coaster enthusiast event too with Roller Coaster Rodeo. That thing looks awesome.
Someday.
We got to get out there someday for that. Yeah. So staying in Texas, we have Six Flags Over Texas, another winner. This is the original Six Flags park, and it's in a very, very busy area, Fort Worth, Dallas area. Yeah, very, very high attendance here. And with the new Universal Family Park coming here, they're gonna want to do some investment and get a lot of those crowds over to Six Flags as well. Yeah, so I think Universal coming there is gonna be
a good thing.
A good thing for Six Flags, yeah, honestly.
They're so different that I don't think you're gonna lose an audience. You're gonna gain the audience that goes to Universal.
Right. Yeah.
Last on our list, we've got Six Flags Great America. We'll get to the other Great America in a second.
Yeah.
But the one in Chicago has fantastic attendance, being where it is, of course, nestled in between Chicago and Milwaukee, so two humongous cities. And they are due for a new coaster, so I hope to see some extra love during this merger for this park.
Yeah, I'm hearing some rumors for a 2025 coaster, and yeah, they're definitely due. Yeah, like you were saying, it's a great location, very high attendance. So this is one of their top parks, and they're gonna keep it that way. Okay, so those were our winners, and before we get to the losers, we have a little category here, like business as usual. You're not gonna see. I think you're gonna see slightly more investment than you've seen just because of the merger, and now they have more investing power. And they're a big scary company now.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to get slight investments in these companies, but pretty much business as usual. And let's start with Cedar Point, which you may find a little bit controversial. How are they not a winner? And that's because they've always been a winner. Yep. Business as usual for Cedar Point is winning. Yeah. This is their flagship park, and I don't see that changing whatsoever. They get the best roller coasters.
It already is a resort destination.
Yeah, they've got hotels, several hotels.
Yep, they're right on the lake.
Right on Lake Erie there. Yeah, it's a vacation destination. And yeah, it's just business as usual for Cedar Point. They demand the best rides, and when those rides don't work, they start breaking up with manufacturers. And can we cut that out?
Yeah.
We need these manufacturers to build roller coasters for us. We can't just be breaking up with everybody left and right. So
does that mean that this huge conglomeration of a park can't work with anybody
anymore?
Yeah,
we have 26 parks now that no manufacturer wants to build any rides, and we got to avoid that.
Gotta I don't know, bridge the gap here. Start making amends. Mm-hmm. All right, next we've got Six Flags America. This has a fantastic location, being right next to DC. And they've just revamped an area of their park to Steamtown and added a lot of really fun, exciting things.
Professor Screamore.
Yeah. So they don't have a lot of competition where they're at. We could potentially see maybe a two-park partnership with King's Dominion just due to proximity. But as of now, seems business as usual.
Yeah, it does get good attendance because of where it is. I hear not so great things about the park. So
I think how it's run is a bit dicey, but maybe we'll see an improvement.
Yeah, they got to clean it up. Mm-hmm. All right, next down our business as usual list, we have Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. And in this area, I think they're closing the wrong theme park. Great America is on the list to be closed by Cedar Fair, and I think that's just going to speed up even more now. I think it's probably only got a few years left. Even though it's the better park, and it's a 38th most visited theme park in the world. I'm not sure why they're closing. Yeah, crazy. I honestly think if they're going to close one, it should be Discovery Kingdom, but I don't see them changing their mind here.
It seems like it's already in the works.
Yeah, exactly. One, so. And so I don't really see, with no competition at this point, Discovery Kingdom. I don't see them investing too much. Just pretty much get a major edition once every 7 or 8 years or something like that. Just business as usual.
Business as usual. So the next 7 parks we're going to list are kind of in the same boat. They're in a large metropolitan area with decent attendance, and they don't really have much competition.
Or in a vacation area where a lot of people go to, yeah. They all fall under the same boat here, so we're just going to speed through them.
All right, so those parks would be Worlds of Fun, Six Flags St. Louis, Six Flags Mexico, Valley Fair, Michigan's Adventure, Six Flags Over Georgia, and The Great Escape.
Yep, business as usual. These parks aren't going anywhere, and should be good stuff. And already with a big merger like this and 26 amusement parks, there's going to be some losers, unfortunately. Yeah, it's tough to manage 26 parks, and if they find themselves in a place where they need like extra cash for investments, it's possible that some of these may be closed or sold off as well. Yeah.
They seem expendable. All right, so up first we have Six Flags New England. You may think this is a weird addition to this list, but so investments seem to kind of come to a halt in 2017 with the latest edition, the Joker. And the only real competition is Lake Compounce, but I think they're just such different parks with like different audiences that you can't exactly call them competition.
Exactly, and the Six Flags ride lineup is still so much better than Lake Compounce is. So yeah, I don't see many heavy investments coming here, even though they should just remove Flashback. And with that plot of land where Goliath and Flashback used to be, build an awesome $200 million Intamin mega launch coaster.
That would be amazing.
But you know, again, that's not me being selfish or anything again, but
it would help. And again, free idea. You know, our last visit there, I do love that park. I have a lot of fun there, but it seemed a bit drab. It did seem like time had forgotten about this place, I guess.
Yeah, I got those vibes a little bit as well, yeah.
Whereas a decade ago when we went, it just felt like more alive, I guess.
Yeah, this park used to get so much investment in like the 2000s and like early 2010s. Like it was just a roller coaster every 2-3 years. Like, yeah, and just stopped.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't think this park is in any danger of closing or being sold off. Not in the near future anyway.
But I don't think it's going to be a priority in the merger either for them to invest in.
Exactly. All right, next we have the biggest loser in this list, California's Great America, which is inevitably closing. And I really hope they change their mind on this. They're not going to, but it's just like it's a better park than Discovery Kingdom. Like it's got the better ride lineup, lots of visitors, very high attendance here. It just doesn't make sense to me, honestly.
It is strange, and I mean, we watched a press conference too. The mayor of that city was like, "We are investing. I'm not letting this go," and it doesn't seem to be up to her. But I like where her spirit is at.
Yeah, unfortunate, yeah. But if they are going to close this, and they should bring Railblazer and Gold Striker over to Dorney Park. Again, not being selfish. I think they would fit really good at Dorney Park, you know?
Yeah, if you need to sell something, sell that, and you can relocate all these rides. So I guess from a massive perspective, it's not a big deal, but for the locals, it's going to hurt. Next on the loser list, we have Laurent.
The loser.
The loser. This park gets a reputation for being not the greatest. It does seem kind of strange. It's in Montreal. It gets good attendance, but we haven't seen investments in a really long time. It just seems like another park that has been forgotten about.
Yeah, it's in a beautiful location, right in the heart of Montreal there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we've noticed at all the vlogs we've watched about it that every single day, no matter what, they have like a 35-minute fireworks show, which is insanity. If you need some cash, stop with the fireworks show every day. And the people that live next to that park, I do feel bad for.
It's 35 minutes straight to fireworks. I want to go just for that, honestly. Yeah.
It's a little heavy-handed, I think, a little much.
But yeah, with the location of this park, and it does get good attendance just because it's right there in Montreal where so many people live, like this park, I don't think it's going anywhere, honestly.
I think it's just kind of existing as is, basically.
Yeah, I wish they would just try a little bit harder.
Me too. They could make this fantastic. They could make it not a Disney resort. They could make it a vacation resort.
Yeah, Canada, again, deserves better.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Okay, so these next two parks coming up, I think, are in the biggest danger of possibly being sold off or closed, unfortunately. And we're going to start with Frontier City. This park just seems like super neglected. Like the rides aren't good. It's kind of sad, really. They just don't seem to care at all about this park. And I think the only thing that might save it, honestly, is if American Heartland does open down there in Oklahoma, which is there's rumors about that opening in 2026, like big theme park. If that happens, I think maybe they can try to invest in it, clean it up a bit, try to get maybe some of those road trippers from one to the other. But
it could make them or break them. It could bury them, honestly, if people are it's like looking at the Mona Lisa and then looking at a doodle. I feel like when you're trying to compare these
two. Again, yeah, if that park does open and they continue to not invest in here, yeah, this park it's over.
Gonna fall apart.
It's done. Yeah. But hopefully not. We'll see. Because as of right now, I have no interest in going to Frontier City, honestly.
No, I forget it exists.
I think I have a decent Schwarzkopf, but no. Yeah, I really don't have any interest in going to this park at the moment. Yeah.
The other park we think is on the chopping block and in immediate danger is Six Flags Darien Lake. This is in a cold climate, so even in the summer, I just feel like due to lake effect and everything, it's always cold and rainy there. They don't really seem to be putting in investments into this either for a long time. It doesn't get any love. This is in New York. I've lived here my whole life. I've never been to this park. You've lived here most of your life, never been. And again, I don't have any desire to, so it's probably just local people visiting.
Yeah, this is pretty close to Buffalo, so they get people from over there. And I would like to visit, but it is like New York is a big state.
Yeah.
It's still like 6 hours away from us.
That's quite a drive for something that isn't going to blow our minds.
Yeah, and I would like to make a road trip to Canada's Wonderland at some point and stop here along the way if it still exists. I hope it does, but yeah, I think this one might certainly be on the chopping block if the company needs like extra capital for investment and stuff like that. All right, so there you have it, our winners and losers and our overall predictions of the new merger here in the new Six Flags company. We're definitely right on everything we said.
100%, but if for some reason you think we're not,
yeah, let us know where we might be wrong here. But no, we're definitely right on everything. And they should do the WWE Royal Rumble with all the DC Looney Tunes and Peanuts characters.
That's what you're most right about.
That's what I'm most right about. You enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a like and subscribe and comment as well. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.